Welcome back. In this video, part 4 of UV mapping, texturing a stop sign and a parking sign. We're just showing you how to do the stop sign. You can do the parking sign, the same thing. Just follow the same basic steps. With the parking sign, or the stop sign, we need to go ahead and create a new project. And basically I always do 4096 by 4096 by 72 dpi. So you can do that by going into File, New, and I've already got it set up here. You can create your own here and basically just follow what I've got here and then click Create, and that will open this up. What we want to do is just basically go to File, Open, and we've been baking our objects, so I'm going to go into my exercise 4 and my source images, and we're going to open up the normal and ambient occlusion. We're going to open up the UV map first, so we're going to open up those three. Alright, so you can see what we've got here. So here's our parking sign, ambient occlusion, and normal maps. Okay, so ambient occlusion, we're going to use everything here. If we have an error in here, we can paint it out. With the normal map, we don't want to see any of the outline stuff here, any of this or any of that, because the low poly's got everything modeled in. So to clean this one up, we need to go in here, and we don't have to clean all normal maps up, just ones that we don't need to have the low poly in there. So the low poly was baked along with the high poly. We only want to see the high poly bake. Okay? To clean this up, then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and click on the healing brush tool. Okay? And we need to make the hardness to be all the way high, and we need to bring this up pretty high so we can kind of paint those out. So let's set it up around 500 pixels. Okay, alright, hit enter, and what we're going to do is hold down the Alt key to sample that particular area. So hold down the Alt, click on the left mouse button, and now we can kind of paint that out. Now we have to be careful what we're painting, because it'll do another thing you can do, what I like to use too as well, I'm going to Control Z that back, is we can also use the stamp tool as well. So stamp tool does exactly the same thing. We'll harden that up and go about 500 pixels, and whatever I click here, hold down the Alt key, select, we'll paint. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hold the Alt key down, select that portion there, and paint. We just want to paint out everything, that kind of that highlight there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here, paint that out. We want that to be, the opacity to be 100% when you're painting. Okay, we're going to go over here, sample, and then paint all that out. Sample, paint all this out. Sample over here, paint all that out. Alright, so just make sure we don't have any residual issues in here, otherwise it'll be a problem. So I'm going to click on this guy right here, hold down the Alt key, and then paint this out all the way down. Same thing with over here, paint all that down. I'm just holding down the left mouse, just click on here and just do the whole thing right here. There we go. So all I really want out of this are the bolts. The bolts are good. So if there's anything else in here, I'm just kind of making sure that I don't have anything else to cause problems. So that is how I paint and correct the normal map. So the only thing we really want out of this whole thing is the bolts. Okay, so that one's done. So what I can do is go File, Save As. I can go stop sign, normal map, and I can just say like FIN for finished. Save that into my source images where I found it. We want 24-bit. Okay, so that one is done. So we don't need this anymore. So I'm going to close that. We cleaned that up. We only wanted the bolts. Close that. Now this one, on the other hand, is something we can use. It's the ambient occlusion. So with the UV, we need to bring in now our maps. Let's see if we can see these a little bit better. So here's my stop sign, and I also have some grunge maps in here too as well. I'm going to give you these so you can use what you want, but I'll just give you an idea how this all works. Okay, so let's click on this guy right here, the red stop sign. You guys can grab that too. I'm going to give you both the parking sign and the stop sign. So click on open. So we got that. Pull that off to the side, and we're going to pull that in. Okay, here we go. So we know the top is the front, and I'm going to pull in this guy here, 30-minute. Open that up. So you can see my base maps. Those are working really well. There you go. Base maps pulled in there. So I pulled that down and then push it in there, and then of course now we can resize. So I'm going to go my background, and I'm going to double click on that, and so we've got our stop sign, and we need to, what we'll do is I'll just pull this over here like that. So what we're going to do with this is we got to scale that. So click on the stop sign, and I want to make it the opacity about 50%. So I can see the back wire frame of the UV map, and do Control T and just kind of shape that in, pull that in and get that pretty close. And you may want to zoom in to get do a better job. Go, just hit enter for now, and we're going to zoom in so I can get a better. I'm going to hold the Alt key to zoom in. There we go. Alright, so we're just kind of over top, so let's move that object around a little bit. There we go. So it fits that perfectly. And so when we do this type of work, it's really nice to be able to zoom in. So I'm going to go back in here and zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Just use my middle mouse button to move around. We can see that we're in the UV map. You can see the white behind. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so we're good there. Alright, so you can see it's nice to have a little space. That 20 pixels really helps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is the back should be a metal color, right? A metal color. So you're probably going to want to go find a metal color that you want, aluminum color that you want to use right there. So the next thing we're going to do is once you get that set up, then you're going to zoom out again. And we're going to zoom in to this guy right here. So now I got that. So I'm going to move or turn the opacity back up on that one. And on the parking sign, I'll move that into place. Turn the opacity down to around 50%, and we'll place that. Now this will be a little tougher to do. So let me get that corner set up, and I'm going to go Control T and scale that down as close as I can and then move that up and see what we got. Alright, so you can see that it's not fitting exactly. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift key and squish that up so it fits my UV map. So I want it just kind of fits within. I don't want that. I don't want to see the black line. I want to see a little bit of white. So I'm just going to kind of fit that in there. Move that around. Okay, so I've got the same distance around the white area here. Okay. So I can do Control T again and hold the Shift key down, and that lets me move that around like this. There we go. So you can see I'm fitting that in. So there's a little white around. Okay, that looks good. Or you can do it so you can just have the green on the outside. That would work too. That might even look better. So let me bring that up so the green is inside of that. That might look better. There we go. Pull that down like that. So we've got that. Alright, so that looks good. Hit the Enter key and then turn that up to 100%. Okay, so that's set. Now we're going to just, how about if we paint these areas here? So I'm going to select a gray color. Okay, for this. And light gray color for that. And we're going to do both. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that. Okay, I need to Control Z back again. I'm going to create a new layer and fill that with that layer. Create another layer. And I'm going to select this guy right here and fill that up with gray. Okay, usually you'd find a base metal. I'm just going to use gray right now. Fill that up. So also we've got the sides and the poles. So let's see here. So I'm going to create another layer, and we are going to fill that up as well. Okay, and go ahead and fill that up. That's a new layer as well. Alright, so now we've got the pole. That's going to be a dark green. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit too, see where it starts. Okay, there's the pole. So now I'm going to go in here and do another layer and get right on top of it like that and scroll all the way down, and that will be a dark green color. Something like that. Okay, and we'll fill that. Here we go. Okay, so alright, so basically now we have our texture. This is our flat base texture. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit more. And then, so we got everything lined up, and now we're going to go to the next step, which is adding a grunge to it.